Chilly winter days are here, and it's the perfect time to make some soup and enjoy it. Our favorite momtrepreneur, Courtney Johnson, is joining us in the studio today. Thank you for being here, Courtney.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and today we are gonna make and enjoy some soup, correct?
Yes. So minus my one special trick at the end. This is my Italian Chicken Tortellini soup, and so because we're not using television, I don't have a range available, so we're just going to use my Instapot. So I'm going to put this on saute. So you would use your your pot on saute, or you could do this in an Instapot as well. And so I'm going to have you take this and do just like a good
couple little swirls.
Yep, couple little swirls of that in there. Yep, get plenty of oil in there.
Okay.
And then what I'm going to have you do is, I have a red onion. So there's tons of color in this soup. Which is really good about getting all kinds of different vitamins and that in there for us.
So I could
you
just
can just dump that in. Yep.
All right.
And then what I did in my air fryer, everybody knows I love my air fryer, is I've done some roasted garlic. So I just put a little olive oil on here, and I just roasted it in my air fryer. And so I'm just going to, so when you do this, I do a couple at a time. And then what you end up doing is you end up having these, I peel the loose paper off of it, or the loose, skin. And then you basically can just hold it over the pot, and I'm just going to get just a few of these. You kind of push from the bottom or just squeeze, and they'll just come right out of there.
Oh, okay.
And so you you could whip this into butter, and you just get that nice caramelized flavor, and that's actually scientifically, that's the Maillard effect, if I'm pronouncing that right. And caramelization is flavor.
And
always. Yep. You're going to stir that up, and we're going to get some color on those onions. And so what I did is I boiled at home 2 chickens, because I'm going to make some soup for someone who's kind of in need. And so I boiled up 2 chickens. So what this is about a breast and a half, a thigh and 1 leg of a fresh boiled chicken. And when I'm preparing my chickens, a good tip is, everyone's into bone broth. And so when you are doing chicken or anything with like an animal product to make a broth, I added about 2 good tablespoons to my big pot, and what that acid does, so this is just some sun-dried tomatoes a little, and I like to add those for just like an intense sweetness. You can just kind of bust them up in there.
Okay.
A little bit more. So why you add the vinegar is it helps pull the collagen out of the bones, and it gives you a more hearty broth that's better for your body. So we've got that going on in there.
It smells delicious.
Yeah. So we'll move our garlic over here, clean as we go. My mom would be happy. So a couple little things about today. Now, I chose to be brave, a la I hate to even use this in the same term as her, but me being in the same realm, but Pam Anderson, no makeup, going on all the shows, and I was like, you know what, it's a chaotic day, it's cold. And I'm from the UP, and I like to represent all different moms, and it's all about can do, you can do this, you're beautiful the way you are, beauty's on the inside and the outside, so I am makeup free for the whole UP to see. So
I think you look great.
Yeah,
you look stylish too with your Stormy on.
And I've got my Stormy on. I have a little secret addiction to Stormy Chromers. I just love them.
Yes.
Maybe we can form a relationship, me and Stormy Cromer. You gotta represent us older ladies. I'm bearing down on 50 here, so you gotta rep us, us ladies. But yeah, so I just kind of really wanted to show up, with this. Let's see what kind of color we're getting. Oh yeah, it's coming along.
Okay.
So what we can do is let's just dump that chicken in there.
Okay.
And so the nice thing about this soup is you're kind of just dumping all the things together. So, now to make this faster, you could do some canned garlic. You could buy some pre-cut onions that they sell at a lot of stores. And you could do a rotisserie chicken. Pull off that broth, cut up the chicken, throw it in there. You're going to get a lot of flavor. It's going to cost more, but I mean, if you're in a hurry and you're not feeling well, or you want to prep for the week, this is going to be a great soup that's going to bring in a lot of phytonutrients with all the colors in there. And so I have a little example of some of the vegetables that went in there. There's some, red onion and things like that, zucchini. So that you're going to have 1 zucchini, 1 yellow, summer squash, about a cup of mushrooms, and I do everything really chunky because what I like to do and what I think is really good for the human brain is to take different bites and get different chunks. So you're like, oh, I really like this piece of zucchini with this chicken with this tortellini. And then if you've got a picky eater in the group, they can pick out those chunks. I really discourage that in my household. My kids and my husband know this. You know, they're starving children in Africa, those old classic sayings. So I'm just going to dump these in. So this is, and I had some green beans in the house, and that I'm going to be using, and it's just too much for my husband and I. I'm like, green beans. There's Italian green beans that's going in the pot too. So there's all of our veggies going in here.
Okay.
So you could do, they sell frozen squash, they sell frozen zucchini, frozen green beans, and you know, and all that stuff. So think about this. If you were in a hurry, if you bought a rotisserie chicken, split that baby in half, maybe got 2 big things of the broth, and you took a half a bag of green beans, half a bag of the frozen vegetables that we're using in this, maybe a large can of mushrooms, put that all in a freezer bag, the remaining half, had your veggies all ready to go, cube up the rest of your chicken, throw that in there, then you have your thing of broth setting aside, and if you bought 2 spaghetti sauces, you know, you're going to have that setting. So it's just a lot of dumping into the pot.
Yeah.
And so this is going to be some broth, and we're just going to kind of eyeball it here. So I just did this, and like normally, when I'm doing my chicken, like I season the liquid. Yeah, that should be, we have room for that.
Perfect.
I season the liquid up with some kosher salt and some bay leaf, and usually the traditional poultry spices, like with some rosemary and thyme and stuff like that. I did some Italian seasoning today to kind of pick up on these Italian flavors. And then to this, I'm going to add some cannellini beans, because that sounds Italian, okay?
Yeah, fancy.
And we're going to just dump that in. So the thing I like about this soup is this is just a lot of dumping things together and like heating it up. Of course, you know, a lot of things are better the next day.
Right, and if there's something too that, you know, you don't have, you know, doesn't matter.
Exactly. It doesn't need to be perfect. And then I'm just doing a jar of tomato, basil, garlic. That cuts down some steps because you're getting some flavoring in there. And we're just going to get this all coming to a boil. So I'm going to do, I don't know, about a package of these grated carrots.
Okay.
Now what I normally do, once that comes to a boil, I'm going to add my tortellini. What I normally would do is when my tortellini have come to, you know, till they're al dente, I usually throw in the pot is simmering, I throw in a bag of frozen spinach, and what that does is it cools it down enough to where it's not burning hot when you eat it, and it cools it down, and I shut the pot off. That way the spinach kind of cools it down, so it stops that tortellini from losing that nice al dente texture. And so right here, then I just have some diced tomatoes. Now this is getting to the point. This is getting to the point where it would be too high to run it in the Instapot mode. Let me see, I think we're almost at that line.
Yeah.
Yep.
The max, yeah.
Yep, the max, okay. So what I'm going to do then, for the sake of television, is I will probably lock this down, and we're going to bring it to pressure and make it really fast.
Okay.
Okay? So, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do about half of this bag of tortellini. So this is just Barilla. The thing I like about this company is the quality of the flour that they use. It seems to be less irritating to people that have gluten issues. And so we've got everything in here. Just kind of paint that down, so to speak. And we're just going to lock this lid down.
Okay. And the soup is almost ready. It's bubbling. It smells great. What do we still have to do, Courtney?
Okay, so what I'm going to have you do is throw this Italian fresh leaf parsley on top that we've cut out.
Okay.
It just really makes it. You got to have that fresh Italian parsley. It just makes any dish.
Excellent. Give that a little stir.
Yep, give that a stir.
Alright.
And then you can just
put it in my bowl?
Yep.
Okay.
Put it in your bowl and give it a try.
I love
vegetables might need a little more time there, but for the sake of television.
Right, we're just gonna go for it.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna finish with some Parmesan cheese. There you go.
Beautiful.
And then what I have here, actually, I prepared to go with it is, this is a kind of like a cross between like maybe like a focaccia or like a beer bread type of thing. And I'm gonna have the recipe. I'm gonna have the recipe on my site, or on my page that I'll link in with this site. And so the cool thing about it is there's some nutritional yeast in there, and that's gonna kind of give it that kind of cheesy, yeasty smell without having active live yeast in there.
Okay.
As well as there's a lot of cottage cheese in there, and then one beer, and then some olive oil and stuff, and then some of that roasted garlic on top, some sea salt, and some red pepper. Ideally, I probably would put some fresh rosemary on there, but I used it all up making like a hair tonic out of my rosemary. So everything gets used. Yeah.
I'm going to give this a try.
Yes, absolutely.
Delicious. Perfect for a day like today.
Yes, for sure.
Excellent. Well, yes, we'll have all this information on our website, myupnow.com. Courtney, thank you so much for all the tips, tricks, and everything in between.
Yes. Thank you very much for having me. And pay attention to my page. I'm going to be doing a giveaway of these spoons if you participate. So, yeah.
Excellent.
Yes.
Yes, and we'll be right back with more My UP Mornings after the break.
Thank you.